Welcome everybody to our City Council meeting tonight. Tonight our invocation and pledge of allegiance will be given by our Kingsburg Boy Scout Troop 392. Please stand.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please prepare yourself in the manner of which you're accustomed to. Dear Lord, thank you for this beautiful day and the ability to be here. Thank you for everyone in this room and everyone not. Please bless us as we live on this earth and bless everyone that has moved on. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. All right, thank you guys. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Today is Wednesday, June 21st, 2023. This meeting is a joint meeting of the Kingsburg City Council and Board of Directors of the City of Kingsburg Public Financing Authority and the Board of Directors of the successor agency of the Kingsburg Redevelopment Agency. During the joint meeting, the members of the City Council will be concurrently sitting as the members of the Board of Directors of the City of Kingsburg Public Financing Authority and the Board of Directors of the successor agency of the Kingsburg Redevelopment Agency. Next on the agenda, we have public comment. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Please take roll call, Abby.
Councilmember Silva?
Present.
Councilmember Purcell Jr.?
Here.
Councilmember North? Here. Councilmember Smith? Here. Mayor Palomar?
Here. Next on our agenda, we have public comment. This is time for any citizen to come forward and address the City Council and the respective Board of Directors on any issue within its jurisdiction that is not listed on the agenda. A maximum of 5 minutes is allowed for each speaker. Is there anybody here that would like to address the City Council in public comment tonight? No? Okay, seeing none, I'll close public comment. Next on our agenda, we need to approve joint meeting agenda. Action by the council and respective board of directors to approve the joint meeting agenda or to make modifications, items that can be added to the joint meeting agenda is constrained by state law.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. Next, presentations. Tonight we have none. Next on our agenda is joint meeting consent calendar. Items considered routine in nature are to be placed on the consent calendar. They will be considered as one item and voted upon in one vote unless individual consideration is requested. Each vote in favor of the consent calendar is considered and recorded as a separate affirmative vote in favor of each action listed. Approval of the consent calendar items include recital reading ordinances by titles only and adoption of recommended actions contained in staff reports. Does any council member want to, tonight we have 5.1 through 5.8. Does any council member want to pull any consent calendar items? No? Anybody in the public like to pull a consent calendar item? No? Okay. Then can I get a motion to approve, please?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No? Okay. Action approved. Next on our agenda, we have regular calendar. 6.1, public hearing, fiscal year 2023/2024 budget review. Consider 2023-2024 fiscal year recommended executive budget. Sponsor is our city manager. I'd like to open the public hearing and presentation by City Manager Alex Henderson.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council. In accordance with City Charter, Section 2.08.090, subsection G, we'd like to present the city manager's proposed fiscal year 2023-2024 operating and capital improvement budget. This is the major policy document for the city for the coming year. It's based upon our 6 strategic planning principles as adopted by the council, which include ensure financial stability, improve public safety, provide recreation opportunities for all ages, improve community communication, increase retail opportunities, and promote sustainable development. The fiscal year 2024 all funds budget is $32,617,056, a 0.53% decrease from fiscal year 23. An adopted budget marks the end of an annual process of evaluating the city's fiscal health, community priorities, infrastructure needs, and daily operations. The city remains fiscally sound thanks to prudent and conservative planning by the City Council. As such, the fiscal year 24 budget is structurally balanced, and there are no expected uses of reserve funds to cover projected deficits. The budget maintains city staffing levels, includes funding for our successful public-private partnership programs, and continues to address infrastructure needs and quality of life improvements for all residents. While our efforts and budget are driven by all of our strategic goals, this budget also focuses on Kingsburg's efforts in sustainability, resilience, and prosperity. Our organization is committed to providing the highest level of service and quality of life for our citizens. This budget document hopes to recognize the values that make Kingsburg what it is today and reflects each of our employees, businesses, and residents. I would like to specifically thank Mayor Palomar and the City Council, as well as all of our staff and residents for helping make Kingsburg the place that it is. A very special thank you to the city's finance director, Alma Collado, our assistant city manager, administrative services director, Christina Windover, our city clerk, Abigail Palsgard, and our entire large management team for helping to put this document together. Tonight, we recommend the council hold a public hearing and adopt Resolution 2023-029, approving the fiscal year 2024 operating and capital budget. There have been no substantial changes or really any financial changes from the presentation that was given to the council 2 weeks ago, just some minor cleanup of items that we found in between the 2 meetings. But that concludes my report, and I'm certainly happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Any questions for Alex? Comments or discussion on?
I have a couple comments.
Okay.
First of all, to reiterate, thank you, Alex and the team, for putting this budget together. I think it's a very robust document that you guys did a really good job and spent probably a fair amount of time on. So, thank you for that. In addition to that, going forward, I think we are on the right path, and I think that the city's in a good position, and I appreciate everybody that's been a part of that. So, other than that, I have no other comments, Vince.
Thank you. Any other council members have comments or questions? No, I have a comment. Yeah, when I was looking through the agenda today, I just want to say thank you to our staff also. It was well put together and a lot of nice pictures of our events we have here in Kingsburg, and just a lot of information in there. So thank you very much for putting that all together. I know it probably, like Dave said, probably took quite a few hours to do all that. So thank you to our staff. Okay, I'd like to open the public comment. Is anybody from the public like to have a comment or like to have any questions for City Council or staff on this agenda item? Nope. Okay. Then I will close public comment. We can continue council discussion or close the hearing and make a motion to approve, what is this, Resolution 2023-029.
There's no more comment. I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Motion carries. Okay, next on the agenda, 6.2, public hearing, landscaping and lighting assessment district number 93-01. Consider approval of engineer's report and levy and collection of assessments within such district for fiscal year 2023-24. Staff report prepared by Finance Director Alma Collado. So I'd like to open the public hearing on this agenda item. And presentation is to be done by Finance Director Alma Collado.
Good evening, Mayor Palomar and City Council. The Landscape and Lighting Act of 1972 authorizes cities to impose assessments on benefited properties to finance construction of street lighting and street landscaping, traffic signals, parks, sidewalk repairs, recreational improvement, as well as maintaining and servicing any of these improvements within the public places within the boundaries of the district. The engineering firm of Will Dunn Financial Services has prepared and filed with the clerk the engineer's report, our annual engineer's report that has reviewed all the maintenance costs, administration, and overhead collections in maintaining the streets, landscape, and lighting district. The total levy is $112,247 for fiscal year 23-24, which is $4,444 increase from the current fiscal year. A public hearing notice was published in the Selma Kingsburg Enterprise Recorder on June 7, 2023. In the recommended action by City Council is to conduct a public hearing to receive public testimony regarding the proposed fiscal year 23-24 assessments, and to, following the hearing, take action to adopt Resolution 2023-030, or in the levy and collection of the assessments within the city's landscape and lighting assessment district. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Alma. Council discussion on this agenda. Anybody have any comments or questions for staff? No? Okay. Anybody from the public have questions or comments for our council or our staff? No? Okay, thank you. I will close public comment. If we have no more continued council discussion, I'll close the public hearing unless anybody has a comment or question. Nope. Okay. Next, we would adopt resolution number 2023-03.
Make that motion.
So moved. Yeah, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have 6.3, Community Facilities District 2017-01, 2023-2024 levy. Staff report prepared by City Manager Alex Henderson. I would like to, no, there's no public hearing on this one. Presentation by CFD Consultants and DTA.
Are you guys on?
Good evening. Yes, Young with DDA Law. Good evening, Mayor and Council members. My name is Young Wu, and I'm Senior Manager at DDA. I'm here with my Managing Director, Buda Wakwade, this evening to provide you with an overview of the proposed special tax.
Can you hear me?
Did you mute him accidentally?
Of the CFD.
There it goes.
There have been 7 annexations to the district. We have been closely monitoring the development status within each of the annexations in collaboration with the city's planning department staff on annual basis. On average, the CFD has been witnessing an addition of 20 to 30 units of residential development each year in the past several years. The proposed special tax for the upcoming fiscal year 2023-24 aligns with the pattern established in the current fiscal year 22-23. Overall, with a 4.9%
Questions concerned by council on this agenda item? No? Okay. Public? Anybody from the public want to make a comment or concern on this agenda item? What?
I think most of that was cut out on the phone call. I've read it, and I think it's fine. I know we've gone through this somewhat in finance too. But can we maybe have the city manager just give a brief overview on what we might have missed on that portion of the call, please?
Sure. Sorry, John, you were cut off a little bit there, so I'll cover it. We talked about this a little bit a couple weeks ago. So the CFDs are the districts that are formed with all of our new annexations. They're similar to the landscape and lighting that you previously approved, but they cover other services like police and fire services, as well as road maintenance, alley maintenance, and administration costs as well. So they're a little bit more robust in terms of what the funds can be used for. We started these districts in 2017. Each year the council has to approve the annual levy or the amount that is charged to these particular homes. So we have two zones, as we talked about a couple weeks ago. We have Zone 1, which is the vast majority of the new annexations in Fresno County, and then we have Zone 2, which is the Summerlin subdivision, which is mostly in Tulare County, but then there are 17 properties that are also in Fresno County. This evening you are considering approving the levy for fiscal year 23-24, and the increase which was talked about at the Finance Committee and then a couple weeks ago at the City Council was 4.9% based upon the CPI as identified when the CFD was originally approved in 2017. So I'm happy to answer any other questions that you might have.
I just think it's important to note that these are not numbers that are just pulled out of nowhere. There's a calculation gone in this, and these numbers could be higher, but they're not. And that's something that we discussed and took it seriously the whole time. Because I know people are going to see these numbers and wonder why, but it is for a reason. So this is not just pulled out of nowhere. So thank you to those that worked on that.
I have a quick question. I should have thought of this before the meeting started, but do I have to abstain from voting on this one?
I don't think you have any. Do you have any financial implications?
If you're worried about it, you can.
I pay it.
We have enough.
I pay it.
One of those zones.
Yeah.
Okay.
You okay? She's okay?
Okay.
I have nothing else.
No more questions or comments from our council? Anybody from the public? Comments or questions? No? Okay, thank you. Then I need to get a motion to adopt resolution number 2023-031.
I'll make that motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Nope. Okay, thank you. Approved. Next on the agenda, 6.4. GAN limit adoption for 2023-2024 fiscal year budget figures. Staff report by Finance Director Alma Collado. Presentation by Finance Director Alma Collado.
Mayor Palomar and council members, each year the City Council must approve a resolution to adopt the GAN limit for the city for the new fiscal year budget figures using the county or city growth percentage for calculations. We have the choice of using the city growth percentage or the county, and the city growth percentage is 3.48% and the county percentage is 0.15%. The larger percentage gives us a higher limit. For the figures for our spending limit calculation for fiscal year 23-24, we use the city growth percentage, and the appropriation subject to limitations are under the GAN limit for fiscal year 23-24 fiscal year budget. And staff recommends that the City Council adopt resolution number 2023-032 approving the GAN limit calculation for fiscal year 23-24. using the city growth percentage. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Alma. Do we have any public comment on this agenda item? No? Okay. Council discussion. Any questions from council or any comments? This agenda item? No? Okay, I have no comments. I need a motion to adopt resolution number 2023-032.
I'll make that motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. 6.5, Unmanned Aircraft System Inspection Program. Staff report by Building Inspector, Building Official A.J. O'Connell. Presentation by Building Official A.J. O'Connell.
Test.
Doesn't sound like it's on.
Nope.
Is there a button? Is there a button on the mic?
I can talk loud.
Okay, yeah.
At least my wife says I talk very loud. So, good evening, Mayor and City Council.
Good evening.
According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, more than 1 in 5 workplace deaths in the United States occur in the construction industry. Of these deaths, more than a third involved falls, slips, and trips from elevated surfaces. Every day, hey, there we go. Okay, so I'll tone it down just a little bit. Every day, many brave men and women in the construction industry are building our homes and businesses while exposing themselves to great danger by working on these elevated surfaces, climbing ladders, or traversing steep climbs. The City of Kingsburg is committed to keeping all of our employees safe, including those that work alongside the construction industry. The proposed Unmanned Aircraft System Inspection Program is an example of this commitment to safety. This program, if adopted, will provide our citizens an innovative and forward-thinking tool to help keep our employees safely on the ground and continue to keep our built environment resilient. Building inspections are a critical municipal function that the City of Kingsburg provides to ensure public safety. Every year, the City of Kingsburg Building Division performs thousands of inspections on structures across the community for compliance with building and safety codes. The Building Division's inspections are thorough and comprehensive, which allow for structures in the city to be built safely. An unmanned aircraft system, also called a drone, is defined as an aircraft that is operated without the possibility of direct intervention from within or on the aircraft itself. Across the country, drones are being used in an increasing number of industries for a variety of uses. These industries are as varied as agriculture, to law enforcement, to military defense. According to the FAA, there are approximately 1.5 million drones being used for both commercial and recreational use within the United States. City staff, in consultation with our legal counsel, insurance and risk management representatives, and other jurisdictions in California and across the country, have created a program for drone usage within the building division for building inspections. Largely based on the UAS Privacy, Transparency, and Accountability document commissioned by President Obama in 2015, this document has served as a model for drone inspection programs for cities across the United States. A copy of this document is included in your packet. City staff utilize these resources to create a program that provides the greatest level for building staff safety, while also balancing the very real concerns surrounding privacy related to drone usage. The specific policies and procedures are included in your packet. It is the intention that drones will be used on a reasonably selective basis when a building inspector feels that a traditional inspection method may be hazardous. Drones will only be used for the inspections that are categorized in the policies and the procedures, and not for surveillance or code enforcement uses. Each drone operator for the City of Kingsburg must be licensed by the FAA, keep that license in good standing, have a minimum of 15 hours of flight experience prior, and acknowledge this program's policies and procedures, which will then be included in their respective personnel file. The drone used will be equipped with 360-degree obstacle avoidance technology, remote ID, and anti-collision beacons. The drone will be registered with the FAA and be affixed with a permanent registration number. All drone operations will be conducted above the subject property only and always within the visual line of sight of the operator. All operators must wear safety glasses and hard hats, and except in emergency situations, drones will only be used during designated building inspection hours. With these parameters in mind, the privacy concerns regarding drones are well-founded, even within the structure of a well-thought-out inspection program. City staff has gone to great lengths to self-limit the capability of the drone technology to create reasonable safeguards for residents' privacy and security. All applicants for building permits involving the inspections that are categorized in the program will have the opportunity to opt out of the program directly on the building permit application with no fault. Further, the inspector will notify any property owners and tenants directly on the day of the requested inspection prior to any drone taking flight. These steps will ensure clear and transparent communication with permit applicants and property owners where construction is occurring that drones will be used as a tool to conduct inspections. Additionally, all drone flights will be logged with the date, time, address, inspection requested, weather conditions, and battery levels. This log will be considered a public record. To protect the privacy of surrounding properties, it is policy that no video will be permitted to be recorded during any drone flight. Only still pictures of building and safety code deficiencies visible to the drone related to the inspection will be taken. The operator will primarily use the live video feed from the onboard camera of the drone to perform the inspection. Any photos will be transmitted wirelessly to the operator's position using the drone's embedded technology. Any photos taken using the drone will be retained by the building division in accordance with the city's record retention schedule and state public records laws. Photos of non-inspection items or for surveillance will not be taken or retained. It is important to emphasize that any code determinations that the drone may see will be made by the building inspector on site, in the field, while piloting the drone. The drone will only be used as a tool and not as a replacement for the qualified building code professional. City staff is fully aware that this program may come as a surprise to some within the community. If adopted, the building division will attach an information bulletin summarizing the UAS program to every building permit issued in the city. The information bulletin will also be available on the city's website. Staff will also utilize the carrier and social media accounts to announce the policy and provide contact information for any questions. It is staff's recommendation tonight to the City Council to approve the policy program as presented, and that concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, AJ. Do we have any public comment on this agenda item, unmanned aircraft? Come on up, yeah, come on up, please.
Do now.
Just to let the boys know that's not a big scary thing to come up. I work for a large utility, and I just wanted to thank the city to look into the drone situation and utilizing new technology to better our citizens and their buildings in this situation. As the bigger utility that I work for, they also have moved into this age and are working on utilizing drones to do their inspections as well. So I commend the city and for looking into this for the inspection points to the buildings. So thank you.
His name, Abby?
Say, David Stout, and yes, I'm a resident.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
For the comment. No more public comment? Council discussion on this agenda item? Questions? Comments? For AJ or anybody?
If it keeps our staff safer, then I think it's a really good idea.
I mean, we use drones in the ag sector, so I mean it's kind of going that direction for multitude of reasons. One, efficiency, safety is the biggest one. So yeah, I think if it would help make more efficient and for safety, I think it makes total sense to try a pilot program. So I'm in favor of it.
Anybody else?
So when this was first presented, I wasn't incredibly supportive of it, if I'm being honest, because I fear that there was going to be concerns from the citizen that this is going to be used to proactively get vantage points for code enforcement. But I've very thoroughly read this and then listened to your presentation, and I think that the privacy was my biggest concern for people. But the way that you have this lined out with the limitations, I think it's right. I think the program's right. I agree that it's going to keep you safer specifically. So I support it for that reason. But it's very well written. Privacy was a big concern. The way that you're going to log and track things, the retention schedule, everything is right on it. And I just want to make sure that the public is going to be aware that this is not going to be a tool that's going to be used to look for building code violations, for you to go knock on their door. And I want to emphasize that to you too, that this is, we're potentially going to adopt the program, but we're going to keep a real close eye on it to make sure that it is. And, if we have someone that is by the book, you're probably the most by the book out of all the employees. So I think it's a good thing. I just think that we really need to be careful with how we're pushing out that message. So I think you probably wrote this and you helped adopt this program, so it's really well written. The guidelines are really well done, along with all the FAA regulations and stuff you have in there. I look forward to the program. I think it's going to be good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Just to kind of elaborate, thank you so much, Councilmember Purcell. There are a lot of jurisdictions and people that are taking a very close look at this program and the action that the council performs here tonight, because there's conversations that are happening in the building and safety industry regarding inspector safety. Inevitably, we're also code enforcement officers as well. The court has not weighed in enough for my comfort level to use this technology in a code enforcement fashion. It is our policy when we engage in a code enforcement action, it's what can we see from the public right away and not from the public airspace. That's been the policy since I have been here. I believe that it's been supportive by the management team here at the City of Kingsburg. But I can't emphasize enough that at least for now, until the court rules on certain privacy and unreasonable searches and everything, that our drone inspection program will not be used for code enforcement activities.
I just think it's important that when we push this out, that's known. Because that's the pushback that we're going to get, and that's the concern.
Yes, sir.
You're going to be flying over people's backyards and seeing if they put up a patio they shouldn't have that no one would have ever seen. And I just want the public to know that that's not what council is looking at today. That's not what we're comfortable with. That's not what we're supporting. We're supporting something that is going to allow you to do the inspections that you would normally do, but from a safer vantage.
Yes, sir.
That's all we're doing today.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you again for writing that. It's very well written.
Yeah, to kind of piggyback off what Brandon said, when I spoke with Alex about this last week, he mentioned it to me when I met with him, and I thought there'd be people here tonight for public comment on this issue, but either they didn't read the agenda or they must have read it thoroughly, because I read it pretty thoroughly myself. And, I like the fact that there's no video. Now, you said there are going to be pictures?
Correct.
Okay.
We would only take pictures when a code deficiency is observed using the drone's embedded technology. So we won't go up just to take pictures for pictures' sake. Only when there is a code deficiency related to the inspection, and then it would be transmitted wirelessly to the operator.
Those are available for public records, correct?
Yes, we would treat it as we would any other public record. It's a construction document. It's an inspection note. Currently, right now, if we have an inspection where we do take pictures, just utilizing the camera phone or whatever we have on us, that is a public record as well.
Yeah, I think it's going to be mostly for your safety, and the safety of. You said that there has to be how many hours of training?
15.
15. So right now it'd just be you, AJ?
Well, I'm the only inspector that we have on staff. I'm also the only one that's licensed and has the requisite experience time. So yes, I guess it would just be me. I use the term collectively we because we're a team here, and this was a team effort to develop it.
Great, thank you. Any other comments or discussion from our council? No? Okay.
You all of you have to ask Councilmember Smith about the dead lizard we saw during our inspection last month.
Well, I will say, you brought this up to me when I went on the ride along with you that I appreciate very much, and I can see the value after going out.
You're gonna have to just bring this up. It's gonna blow your mind. Yeah.
Went to the door to ring the door, and there was, I thought it was a statue or one of those ceramic things of a, yeah, it was huge, dead, right there in the planter box.
What was it?
To the door. A great big dead lizard, huge.
For what it's worth, Councilmember Smith took it a whole lot better than I did.
I wasn't ready.
Okay, well, thank you. Okay, any other comment from the public on this agenda item? No, okay, thank you. Thank you, AJ.
Thank you.
Okay, action deemed necessary. Can I get a motion to,
I'll make the motion on this one, yeah.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion approved. Thank you, AJ.
Thank you, AJ.
Thank you.
Next, we have 6.6, Crime Statistics Report for the month of May 2023 and General Police Department Update. And we will have our Police Chief Neil Dadian, presentation by Police Chief Neil Dadian. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening. Good evening, members of council. Just start out one. So I haven't been with you for a couple of months because we decided to go quarterly, and I'm actually jumping ahead a month for a couple of different reasons. But just to give one clarification on the May 11th stat cover sheet for April, it said subject March crime stats, and it should be read April crime stats. So I'll be talking about April and May crime stats. So apologize for the error on that. Grand thefts is still the dominant crime. During April and May, numbers have dropped about half from what they were at the beginning of the year, specifically 13 to 7. This year, thefts have been primarily from porches, retail stores, unlocked vehicles, open areas or buildings, and items taken still continue to be identification from ID theft, shoplifting, cell phones, power tools, still have some catalytic converters, and then unattended packages. Something of note, though, the city manager informed me that Amazon now has a hub in Save Mart, and I talked about that a couple of months ago, that we were going to reach out. I don't know that there was anything we did. I think they just have a partnership with Save Marts because I see them popping up around. So hopefully that gets some use, and we can cut down on some of our thefts, and we see them in other open areas, in other public spaces in the future. We have had 2 previous crime sweeps, and we'll be having another this month. These operations involved contacting probationers and parolees, conducting premise searches, warrant services, as well as proactive enforcement efforts. We usually get 5-6 arrests, a handful of drugs, an occasional gun during each operation, or most of the operations. These operations usually involve some coordinated effort with our task force partners from MAGIC or ACT or both. And while they're not directly involved, we coordinate our efforts in the city as they work in the surrounding county areas and nearby cities. And I hope to have a recap in my October presentation of what we've done this summer. And again, this is proactive stuff that we do to basically let the criminals know that we're out there, we're watching them, we're contacting them on a regular basis, and to mind their manners. We just completed and submitted a grant for our again, for Prop 56 tobacco tax through the Department of Justice. As you're aware, we were not successful in this effort during last year's application period, which currently funds our school resource officer, and that runs out June 30th. Our new approach is not for our school resource officer, but for a detective who will still deal with intervention, prevention, education, both at schools and the wider community, but mostly focused on enforcement to include overt regulatory practices and covert operations such as decoy and shoulder tap operations and other covert investigative methods. Our contacts at Townsend and Associates tell us this is kind of a new focus for DOJ, and that SROs are now less the focus. So we shifted our thinking into that aspect of enforcement and intervention. Still working with Townsend on a grant from the Bureau of State Community and Corrections Organized Retail Thefts, and I hope to move forward on that grant very soon. Vacancies, still have one police sergeant vacancy. Recruitment is now open. 2 police officer vacancies, and we have people in the hiring pipeline for that. One candidate is due to graduate the police academy at the end of July, who's occupying a police officer position. So we'll transition him from a recruit to a police officer. 2 candidates in the hiring pipeline for the vacancies that I mentioned, and more applicants are being processed for candidate washout and potential future positions. Still no word from the Bureau of Justice Assistance on body-worn camera grant. The federal government, we just have to take our place in line. Our training plan continues with yearly skills training completed and other specialty training in progress as it comes up or as needed. Police Department remodel is in full swing, and I'm told still on schedule for July 12th completion date. Kingsburg Police Department participated in a law enforcement torch run for Special Olympics this morning. It started here in Kingsburg, went up Golden State to Fowler. So tip of the hat to the employees who participated in that. And the last thing I'd like to let you know, Officer Gabe Castellanos will be recognized for his DUI efforts next week at an awards luncheon hosted by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. That completes my report. Happy to answer any questions.
Questions from council? I have a question, Chief. I saw in one of the weekly updates there was like an uptick on graffiti.
Yes.
Okay. So my question is, I know these little guys, these young guys, usually it's young kids, trying to make their mark or something. Are you seeing like the same
Generally.
mark, or is it like random or different markings?
I don't know. Maybe Lieutenant Pidley knows.
It's it's gang graffiti. It's gang graffiti, and it's 2 different gangs.
Okay.
Pretty typical.
So you guys, do you have any suspects? My question is next. Yeah.
It's like grabbing smoke, honestly.
Yeah.
They're in, they're out. It's very difficult. But the officers at night are doing what they can do.
Yeah, I know. I was telling you, I haven't seen it. So is it like in alleys, or where are they doing it?
Well, yeah.
Alleys, huh? That's what I figured.
And again, props to Public Works. When we find something, it's usually cleaned up by lunch the next day.
Right. Yeah, good job, Daniel. Okay, any other questions for council? From council? Okay, thank you, Chief.
Thanks for your time.
Good work, thank you, yep. Okay, next we have on our agenda, council reports and staff communications. 7.1, Community Service Commission. We've not met since our last meeting. 7.2, Public Safety Committee. We have not met since our last meeting. 7.3, Chamber of Commerce.
I attended this Chamber of Commerce meeting. They had a mixer yesterday, I believe, at Trinkets and Treasures. They're continuing to have new ribbon cutting. The next is looking like Magosh with the date to be determined. They are going to be launching a new website through the chamber, which is going to give a lot of new resources to their chamber members. It actually looks like there's a lot of good information in there for them. With the Swedish Festival, they served over 400 pea soup meals, and Saturday morning, the breakfast, the Swedish pancake breakfast, was 1,737 breakfasts. So, great job for those that worked on that. And they have the 4th of July Festival fireworks show coming up that they are still fundraising for. They're still looking for sponsors as they can for that.
Okay, thank you, Brandon. 7.4, economic development.
We have not met.
7.5, finance committee.
Meet Monday.
7.6, planning commission. We've not met since our last meeting. 7.7, South Kings GSA.
Yes, we did meet, and we're in process of closing on a property for a recharge pond in the Sanger area. And it's part of a grant, and so the state is holding up the process due to the appraisal. So we opted to extend with the landowner so we can wait for the appraisal to come back approved from the state. Once that's done, then we can go to the next stage and execute the basin. So that's all there is to report at the South Kings GSA.
7.8, downtown business improvement district.
We have not met since the last council meeting.
7.9, council of governments.
Have not met.
7.10, council member reports.
I have two.
Go ahead.
First of all, I went to the Trinkets mixer yesterday, and it was really nice. They've been operating for 17 years, and I didn't even realize that, but it just goes to show what a great business that is. And I don't know how many people have been into that business, but it's almost like a shopping experience because it's multiple shops in like one facility. And so you can get a whole array of a lot of different things, and they have a lot of great things there for people. So if you're in the shopping mood, I would say definitely go and visit Trinkets and Treasures. The other one was the Kingsburg Gun Club hosted the junior trap shoot competition this past week. And we're probably all familiar with the state trap shoot, but this is the juniors. So these are the younger kids that, that learn weapon safety and hone in their craft of trap shooting. And Kingsburg had a team, and there was 18 teams, over 240 participants. And I'm proud to report that Kingsburg won the high team for the junior trap shoot. So this is like a stepping stone to go to nationals, and so I thought it was worth mentioning that to give those individuals a pat on the back for a job well done. So that's all I had to report.
Okay. Anybody else? I have one. Speaking of the gun club, so this morning they had opening ceremony, and I got a call from Matt Workman to come out there and say a few words, so I did, and it went well. Yeah. So I guess it's the adults that's starting now, huh? Yeah.
Adults turn.
Adults turn. Okay, great. Yeah, it's a good thing that we have our state shoot every year, so we have a lot going on here in Kingsburg. Okay, 7-11, city manager's report.
Just a couple of brief items. Just a reminder that the 7-5 meeting is canceled, so we will meet again on July 19th. It's an update on the unfortunate Quick Corner fire that happened about 10 days ago. So AJ has been working closely with the property owner and their insurance. So the structure itself has to be demolished within 30 days. While there hasn't been any actual work at the site, there's a lot happening behind the scenes. So The tanks themselves, the actual underground tanks, have to be drained. That has to be done by a licensed contractor who can handle hazardous materials, and environmental health is involved with that. The property owner's been very cooperative. We understand that there is desire after it's all cleaned up to eventually rebuild. So that's a little further out, but some update there. And then on a more positive note, just some update on the fiber project. It is slated. If you've been around town, you've probably seen them, regardless of where you're at, because there's lots of crews working. It is slated to be completed, the construction portion, by the end of July. So we are anticipating that there will be an update at our next meeting on the 19th, and then there is a project dedication and celebration at the train depot on July 13th at 10 a.m. So that'll be another opportunity to talk about that and hopefully spread the word and talk about the benefits of that project. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Next, we have future agenda items. We have none, correct? Anybody else? There. Next on our agenda, we will adjourn joint meeting of the Board of Directors and the City of Kingsburg Public Finance Authority and the Board of Directors of the successor agency of the Kingsburg Redevelopment Agency. Kingsburg City Council adjourns into closed session. 9.1, conference with legal counsel. Anticipation litigation. Initiation of litigation pursuant to subdivision section